Hey Stampers, I'm here today to show you how I made this cute little card. I got the idea from 2 peas in a bucket, and so I wanted to share with you how I did this little card. I am using a stamp set called Bras Are Like Friends, and the first thing I did was I cut my cardstock, black cardstock. I cut an 8.5 by 11 sheet of piece of paper in half, then just kind of guesstimated a little mat on how big I wanted my stamped image to go on, and then the black sheet. The first thing I did was ink up my stamp with my Versamark and kind of centered it on my paper, and then just went around. Let me put this paper under here so I don't get Versamark all over my mat, and just kind of went around and randomly stamped different images of the bra around the sheet of paper. Just like that. I'll add one right there. Then I took my red embossing powder, sprinkled it on, and shook it off to where I had my stamped image like this. I'm not too worried about the part on the bottom where it messed up because I am going to cover that. So then I took my heat embossing gun and I went ahead and embossed this. And when this turns, you'll be able to see how it turns. It takes a few minutes to do that, but it's starting to now. So there it goes. Going to switch because it does get a little bit hot, and get the rest of it here just like that. Then I went ahead and took a piece of white ribbon, decided where I wanted to put it, which I think about right there, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that piece of ribbon just like that. I'm going to decide where I want it, which is probably right about here. Flipped it over and used the cheater's way to attach it. Just use Scotch tape like this. I'm kind of speeding through this because this is the first video that I'm trying my hand at for YouTube, and I don't want to run over because I've been having problems with that. So I'm trying to be careful here. The next thing that I did was I went ahead and I took my glue gun and ran a strip of adhesive around this part. And I always like to mat my images because I like the finished look matting does. And since I can't always cut a straight line no matter what, even with a ruler, I use this handy dandy little tool. It's called Perfect Layers. And even if you put a picture crooked, it's going to mat it perfectly for you. So basically what I do is I put a 1/16 inch border on here. Just go ahead and trim that down like that. Let me get this line back up here. There's a little groove here that will stop it when you hit the part that's underneath it. And then you just basically trim it off like that. And that one kind of messed up a little bit, but like I said, I'm trying to do this by guesstimating how much time I actually have. I know 10 minutes isn't very long of a time. Then I go ahead and I just attached more adhesive to the back of this, like this, and attached it to my card, like this. And then I like some of the other things I like to do is layer flowers. So I took 2 flowers and I went ahead and layered them together and added a little red brad in the center. Go ahead and open my brad up. Then I took my sticky dots and I went ahead and attached this to the back of my flower. like this. Sometimes sticky dots can be real sticky and they don't always come off the way they should. And I don't think these are the freshest of sticky dots. To give this dimension, you can actually put pop darts under there. And I chose not to on this one because I think what I'm going to do instead is pop up the flower. Pop up the flower instead. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, attach it to the back of my flower since I couldn't get that sticky dot to work. And I'm not going to attach it just yet. I'm going to show you how I stamped the image on the outside here. And what I did was on my mounting block, I went ahead and I double mounted the stamp. So I attached the same to the other side. And what I did was ink this up with a little white first mark pad. Decided where I wanted the image, and I think I'm going to take this off so I can see a little bit better. I think I'm going to put it right here, and this just says bras are like friends. Went ahead and stamped it. Normally I would clean my stamps in between because, like I said, I don't know what the time frame is here. I haven't been able to judge that, and I just stamped embossing powder everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and add my embossing powder to this in red, which I didn't mean to do. I actually meant to put it in the white, but since I grabbed the red, we'll just go ahead and emboss it in red. And we'll go ahead and emboss this up really quick. Get this to show here, and it should turn fairly quickly. And there it is. Now I can go ahead and take the backing off of my flower from the pop dot, and just kind of, I think I'm going to attach it here in this corner. The flower's just a little too big. No. Take this off of here. And I'm just going to take the red one off because I think it's a little bit too big for the image. Go ahead and reopen my brad, and I'm just going to attach it to this in the corner here with a white flower. The inside of the card, I went ahead and just took a piece of red cardstock, and I took my corner rounder. I'm going to just round the corners really quickly, like this. Go ahead and take my adhesive gun, run a strip of adhesive around it. Get that piece off of there. Kind of center it here in the card, like this. And I want to leave enough room so I can do some journaling in here or write a quick note to my friend. So I'm going to take this stamp off, and I'm going to attach this one. And it says the good ones never leave you hanging. I'm going to go ahead and ink this up with my black ink. Make sure I got good coverage there. And then I'm just going to stamp it right in the center. And there's my card. And it says, bras are like friends. The good ones never leave you hanging. Thank you for joining me for my first YouTube video. And I hope to see you again soon. Thank you. Now I'm just going to go ahead and embellish some of this just a little bit more. I have a opaque pin here from Martha Stewart. I'm just going to shake that up. And I'm going to go back and just add some white dots on the corners where there is no embossing, just to help kind of draw more attention to the stamped image. And then if you really wanted to, you could go back and you can add the same dots to the card all the way around on the borders.